Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
At their own 22-yard line.
Mike. Ready. Yellow lady. 55. He's tied in. He's tied run. Tighten up. Tighten up.
Now the leading rusher for the Pats last year is a rookie, Sony Michel. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Big stop, D. Big.
On second down, Michel. He'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
21.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel, and he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darius Leonard, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Play action. Breeze. Letting one go deep for Roberts. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts. 3rd down here.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Going up top. And got his man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Ready. Yellow lady. Check. Watch 54. Hey, kill. Good on.
They'll turn to Michel as they go back to the ground. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Breeze. He's going to look deep end zone for Hopkins. And this is going to be intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On first down, they go right back to Hunt. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Here's the second-year back out of NC State, Nyheim Hines. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here we go, here we go. Ready? Squeeze, double. 82, 40.
Wentz now on first down. Buying time to his left. Now he's going to go up top over the middle. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They'll run with Hunt on second down. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Throwing his Wentz. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
On the ground, Michel. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on third down. Shotgun now for Breeze. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. No score after 1 on EA Sports.
Ready, yellow lady. Right there, 54 Mike. Yeah, you don't want none. Easy, opposite.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. A give to Michelle running right. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Kill.
They'll run it. This is Michelle. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And Myers able to knock it through, and the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now wins. Flushed, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Michael Bannon able to record his 5th sack of the season. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has, really. They come up here now 1st down. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, they run with Michelle. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Breeze looking to throw on 3rd and 2. That's to his running back, Sony Michel. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a second down. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
Ready. Yellow waiting.
Now Michel. 20. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. They needed inches, but they got yards and plenty of them.
And that often happens when everyone's stacked near the line of scrimmage when, as you said, all you need are inches. So you bring people closer to it. If you pop it free as he did there, it's a lot of grass available for him to run on.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Second down and goal. Breeze. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Sony Michel, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead grows to 10-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you've got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And they'll try Michel here running on the right side. And this one also slow and developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
No gain on the play. It's 3rd down and 12.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's Breeze. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Myers' kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And he'll get it up 2-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So after the 22. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Let's go. A gain of 26 yards. First down, Lions.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. The final shot before half for Wentz. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. On 2nd down now, it's Hines. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On play action, Wentz. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And a very good return as he takes us all the way up to the 35-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. This drive starts out on the ground with Michel. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Ready? 5-9. Hey, watch the slant. Hey, kill.
And it's Michel once again. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll run with Michel, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Ready? Yellow weighty. Mike 54. Here we go.
On 2nd and 9, Breeze. And he'll get that to Michel, complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 28. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
On first down, Breeze. They'll roll him out right. Going for it all. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
It's complete to Hopkins.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Good. Like 4, ready. Check, 55. Pilot, 64, weak. 5-1. Easy.
Breeze now on first down. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Ready?
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Mike 54.
Now Breeze. That's out to his running back, Michel. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Breeze now. This will be caught just inside the 10. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down a couple of scores, 16-0, as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. The Lions on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They run with Hines, and he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
And the Lions 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
This is Hines. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. From the gun, it's Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Here we go. Ready? Check. Watch 54. I'm coming.
They'll run on 1st down. Hines, he's got the 1st down inside the 10. And down to the 7-yard line. 16 yards on the play as they try to chip away at this 16-point deficit.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Nyheim Hines with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are able to pull a bit closer. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Shotgun now for Wentz. And they will get back to within 1 score as he is into the end zone, and the lead's cut to 8 here in the 4th. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays. but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. To throw, it's Breeze. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, it was second long, now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
The Vikings on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. Here's Breeze to throw. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. A big 30-yard play on third.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Michel. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Again, it's Michel, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. The Vikings on third down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 9. Now Breeze. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 40. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
At the 39-yard line.
And they'll try to squeeze in 1 more play here before the 2-minute warning. They'll keep it on the ground. Michel. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining.
Let's go.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Sony Michel with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10 at the 9-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
At the 13-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Here we go. 20. Here we go, D. All day. Defense all day. All day. Check 52.
Here's Hines. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Here comes Grant on the return. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros.